Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin continues to show some short-term upside potential. We're going to take a look at that in this video. Also take a look at what it needs for me to confirm that Bitcoin is bottomed. I mean, I don't really like the term confirm because there is no real confirmation in financial markets. There's always an element of uncertainty, but at least, you know, what does it take to get the best probability set up that the low is in, right? So we can look at that. Generally, I want to show you on the 4-hour chart my view about the Bitcoin chart and do we get another low or not. My view is that we should get another low, but I'll also tell you what it takes for me to say there won't be another low. My view is that this up here at 25.2K, that was a wave 4 high, and we're now in this wave 5 to the downside. The wave 5 consists of 3 waves, A, B, C. Because it's an ending diagonal, I can count the entire move down from the all-time high as a diagonal pattern, which means all of these subwaves can be counted as 3 waves. Therefore, the wave 5 is also a 3-wave structure. And my view is that this here was a wave 1 that bottomed at around 18K. This was a wave 2. This was a wave 3. We're now moving up in a wave 4, so possibly have some short-term upside potential before we will come down in another wave 5. Now, you can also count it in a way that the 5th wave has 5 waves. Did that before. We just need a bit of a rearrangement here, but you would have your wave 1, your wave 2, your wave 3, your wave 4, and your wave 5. So it doesn't really make a great difference. It just has a minor impact on targets. But my target for the 5th wave is around 14 to 14.5K. And I'm going to stick with that until the market shows something different. Yeah. For example, it could be that we're going to break the 14K level. Well, then I have to adjust, look at 10.5K and maybe even 6K and maybe in the worst case, even 3K. Even though I find that very, very unlikely. So I can't see that at the moment. To be honest, at the moment, I also can't really see 10K, which doesn't mean the market might not do it, right? So the market might very well go to 10K. What I'd like to express here is that it is very much possible, because I still get the questions, you know, is it possible that Bitcoin goes to 10K, Bitcoin goes below 10K? And yes, of course, it's possible. I can't see it at the moment, yeah. But of course, there is a degree of probability that the market will get there. For me, the ideal target is between 14 and 14.5K. That just works best based on the Elliott Wave extension targets. But of course, you know, those waves can always extend. But therefore, it's so important to, first of all, either wait for a proper reversal signal or to just pay a lot of attention when the market gets to that area, yeah, and to take a look at how do we actually react to that particular area if we get that new low. Do we need a new low? No, we don't. Yeah, Bitcoin has come down enough to bottom out, but I would not confirm this until we have a clear signal. I'm going to show you what signal that might be. So let's go to the 1-hour chart and zoom in. So this is the 1-hour chart, and you can see that we came down here on the 9th of November in what I believe is a wave 3. And we're currently moving in an A, B, C pattern. And this reflects the short-term upside potential because the C wave is a 5-wave move. That's why I've got the yellow wave count here, 5 waves. This is important, yeah, to see for this wave 4 to play out, to see the 5 waves. Initially, yeah, I would have liked to see it directly break down from here, which it didn't really do. It could still do that. And to be honest, if we drop below 15.7K, that is a key level that will give us a warning. If we drop below 15.7K, it is very likely that we very, very quickly go down to the 14.5K level straight away. Okay, so this is the key level, the key pivot point, 15.7K. Until then, my view is that we are going to go up short term. This is not a bullish view. It just means, yes, short-term upside possible against the 15.7k level. So a possible long trade setup into the region around 18k, yeah, 18 to maybe 19k. Again, all of this would just be embedded in this larger A, B, C correction in this wave 4. This is not a bullish view. I would expect afterwards to see a wave 5 down, very clearly. But what would it take for me to say that Bitcoin has most likely bottomed? What would be the confirmation? Again, I already said, I don't really like the word confirmation. A lot of people use it. I use it as well, to be honest, but markets never really confirm. Yeah, they can only really indicate, because markets always have a degree of uncertainty and you never really know. There's only high probability setups. So there are only high probability setups and indications, right? But yeah, what would be needed for me to say that Bitcoin has most likely bottomed? Well, we would then be able to count this, well, yeah, as as this being finished. So we'd have to say, right, wave 5 was done here. Wave 4 was done here. We've got our 1-2 setup, and we're moving up in 5 waves, yeah? Like we would in this C wave. So that's all the same. So we would need to move into the region around, well, around 20k. 18, 19, maybe 20k. This would be a wave 1. And if we then hold the wave 2 support, which I can't give you yet because it depends on how high we really go. But if we hold this support, make a higher low, yeah, then I will have to say most likely Bitcoin has indeed bottomed. This is of course as much confirmation as you can get, always bearing in mind there is uncertainty still around this. Okay, anybody who looks for predictions, absolute certainty, the crystal ball doesn't usually do well in this space. It's all about being able to do the work, adapt, manage your risk, and so on. Yeah, these people do normally well. If you look for absolute confirmations, you are not going to do well, right? So always bear in mind we are still in generally a very large possible turnaround space where you usually find most uncertainty. Most uncertainty. It's not an established trend yet. We might be turning around here. The downside pressure is reducing generally. Yeah, you can just see that by looking at this chart. The downside pressure is reducing. You can see how strong this sell-off was, how strong this sell-off was. And here we are rather in some kind of a diagonal pattern, which makes sense because towards the end of a downtrend, the sellers typically get exhausted to a degree and the buyers are getting stronger, and therefore you see less of a steep sell-off, right? So that's exactly where we are now. In the very short term though, yeah, I'm looking at this as a possible 1-2 setup, either in a wave C of 4 or in a possible uptrend, proper uptrend. It could be that we still come down into this yellow area. That would make sense because this looks to me either a bit like a triangle or just a corrective wave structure. What we're doing here, maybe an A, B, C. I mean, there's always a bit of uncertainty here in the very short term. A, B, C. So as long as we are holding above 15.7k, that's all fine. And we can look at higher. I think a key signal that we are going up would be a breakout above 16.8k. And then you would also fulfill this inverse head and shoulders that we have on the Ethereum chart as well. Yeah, it's starting to get a bit difficult here now as it doesn't really push through. But if Bitcoin now pushes higher, it can still fulfill this inverse head and shoulders with a target of around 18 to 19k. Okay, and that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.